Hey there, GolfCask Nation. This is Brian Bailie here, bringing you our new $100 challenge. We were filming at the Whiskey Jar in downtown Charlottesville. That's right, historic downtown Charlottesville. And we had a great time with Chris Bono. He is a talented bartender, and he's also the manager of the Whiskey Jar. And he brought great creativity and passion to the challenge. I do want to apologize for the first 3 minutes of the video. For one reason or another, our main camera failed. We did figure it out and resurrected it, but the show had already started, so the camera I called overlord to the side, recorded, and the audio is not as great, but after the first 3 minutes, the video and audio improves greatly. So I apologize for that, but hey, I'm a one-man show here right now. This episode features our $100 challenge with Chris, and the really cool thing that Chris did in this one is they have the option to create, Eddie K was with me, the bartender has the option to create separate pours and separate cocktails. But Chris wanted to try to do it all in one. Eddie's profile and my profile are completely different, so it was really interesting to watch Chris go up and down the line as we were talking and weighing the options and trying to find a whiskey that really brings in the peaty, smoky flavor that Eddie likes and more of that bourbon, spicy sweetness that I like. So it was really cool to watch him create one cocktail for each and one pour for each, trying to pull all these pieces together. He made the challenge much more difficult, and a tip of the cap for you on that one. Also exciting news, we're going to bring 100 challenge into our rotation inside of our podcast. So we're going to have our pour podcast where we're going to drop knowledge on golf and whiskey. We're going to have our question and answer for questions that you, the listeners, have for us inside of golf and whiskey. We're going to have our Whiskey Made Me Say It series where we interview interesting people inside of golf and whiskey world, tour golfers, coaches, distillers, whiskey enthusiasts, and then we're going to bring in the $100 challenge again, and we're going to add one more piece to the rotation, area number 5, and you'll find out more about that in the weeks to come when we release our first episode. So we're going to have basically a 5-week rotation. So basically once a month you'll be getting your new, kind of a new favorite piece. That way, again, it allows us to broaden our message and really hit all the topics that you, the listeners, have asked us about. Also, GolfCask members, here's a really cool part. Do you have a favorite bar or distillery near you? I love to travel, and possibly we could bring the show there. So we could do a $100 challenge. We could do some of our golf challenges, and that's right, we might even be able to bring you into part of the podcast. So if you're a member out there and you own a distillery, work at a distillery or at a bar at a pub, and you think this would be a great fit, let me know. I'll see if I can set up a travel and actually come your way. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Cheers. Great whiskey and great times, and I hope you enjoy and give us feedback. Love to hear from you. Enjoy. So GolfCask Nation, we're here at the Whiskey Jar in Charlottesville, probably the premier whiskey bar in all of Central Virginia. I'm joined with Eddie. You might remember Eddie K from a bunch of our videos. Eddie, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. 9:30 in the morning. Things are good for you people. And then we have Chris Bono here with us. Chris, say hello to everybody for us.
What's going out there?
All right. So we're going to do the $100 challenge. Basically, we're challenging the Whiskey Jar to come up with a pour to our liking, as well as a cocktail. And we have $100 to split between the two of us, and then we will rank them and compare how well he picks what we like, how he presents, and also creativity and just kind of like with the cocktail, like the balance and things like that. So it's a really fun way of you guys highlighting what you do here at the Whiskey Jar, and we'll get started. So Chris, take it away.
Okay, so I guess first and foremost with the cocktail challenge, flavors we're looking for. Do we like florals? Do we like mint? Do we like, I know you don't want to match the flavor of the bourbon per se, but everything's going to have a mixture. Do you like a bitter flavor or sweet and savory?
I'm probably bitter with maybe a little sweet.
You're bitter.
I'm very bitter. I'm a very bitter man right now. For a lot of reasons.
I would say sweet, sour, and smoky.
Sweet, sour, smoky.
Yeah.
Smoky's something we do very, very religiously here at Whiskey Jar. We love smoking good old fashioned in Manhattan. So it's something that I feature in a lot of my old fashions in the night. So this is right up my wheelhouse. Now with the whiskey that we're going to use, it'll be more along the lines of peaty,
Do you want something sweeter bourbon-wise? Do you want something high proof?
I would say mid-proof peat.
I would probably go mid-proof, sweet and spicy.
Oh, spicy. Yeah. Okay, good one.
I have an idea for what I would throw together on the cocktail on this one.
All right.
I think a classic cocktail. I'm not obviously not supposed to tell you what it is.
Nah, you're going to surprise us.
All right. And so I'll just get
All
something
right,
on it.
perfect. So, Eddie, what have you been up to?
Oh my God, I've been in Norway, Tenerife, Texas. I'm finally home, and I thought I would be home for the weekend, and now we're going to Fredericksburg Saturday.
Oh, you're still kind of
home. I'm not flying anywhere.
No. You'll be
Yeah.
flying in the backseat of the truck as we're roaring down the highway.
Yeah.
We're going to the Virginia Bourbon and Beer Festival in Fredericksburg. So Eddie's going to join us, and my friend Bo that you might have seen in past episodes. So you've been everywhere, man.
I have been, yes.
That's
yes.
kind of fun.
Some, leisure, pleasure, some work, but yeah, it's good to be back home.
No, it's always good to come home, isn't it?
My garden needs so much attention right now. So
I just I believe in free range gardening.
organic.
Totally organic. Just let it do its thing, and then when it gets in the way, you chop it down.
Yeah.
And then I'm one with nature that way.
Yeah, one with nature.
Yeah, one with nature. So my garden is like I want to chop it down and rock everything, and Anita won't let me. So ideally, I would be like there wouldn't be a single plant within 30 yards of my house, but
Yeah.
can't do that. But yeah,
Can't you just put down the fake turf and then you can have a little putting?
I've thought of that.
Yeah. I think that would be good. And then have some fake flowers.
Fake flowers.
Yes. Yeah.
But don't you have to dust those? I'm not gonna do that either.
I can see you with a duster walking around.
Yes, but no, I think, I think my goal at the house would be to actually, we have the basement area where the speakeasy sits. I want to carve, make it more of a walkout, and then build like a patio space. So
Yeah.
that's my goal, and that's where I'm saving right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to create that. And the beauty, because of the way my house sits, it sits up on a hill.
Yeah.
And the back kind of flows away. So even if I carve it out like from the road,
Nobody can see it.
it'd still not be seen.
Yeah.
So I'd have to build a retaining wall. But I think it'd be kind of cool. Cool
Yeah.
space.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
So that's my goal. We'll see.
So, what will some of your highlights be for the whiskey and bourbon thing this weekend?
It's going to be fun. There's a couple whiskey producers there that I know. I know J.H. Barge is going to be there. They're out of Blacksburg. I think KO is going to be there. Three Cross Distilling I've met. He's out of Richmond.
What about the skinny bottle?
Lost. I don't think Lost is going to be there.
Okay.
I actually emailed them the other day, and he did not say that they were. I think he's actually in Wyoming, so they might send somebody, but the list was 2023. So when I've looked online, so I don't know exactly who, but these are the ones. These are the whiskey makers that I've talked to.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there. So kind of looking through the past, they usually have about 15, 20 bourbon people, and then they'll have a bunch of beer people.
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun mix, and it'll be fun.
I went to one in Richmond.
Yeah.
I love bourbon. I love whiskey. My friend loved beer.
Yeah.
So we did a whole thing, but the problem was he drank the bourbon like he drank the beer.
Ah, yeah, that's dangerous.
So 30 minutes into walking around, he's already, a little off balance. So they had barbecues. I was like, we got to go and get some barbecue because an hour later he was out.
Yeah.
And he's a 6'4" big guy.
Yeah.
He was just laying in the parking lot. I was like, no. So yeah.
What I've learned at festivals, you have to be comfortable with taking a little sip and actually dumping it.
Dumping, yes. Yeah, it is so important.
Yeah, but it's hard to do sometimes, especially when it's a really good whiskey and you're
Yes.
like, oh, that's
You feel like you're wasting it.
yeah. So I need to drink. Yeah, no. So you take a little sip, get a little taste. Maybe if you're looking for finish, get a little bit in finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, the danger is, if you treat spirits like beer.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Well, it's a fun 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes.
It's a fun 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The next couple days might be painful.
Yes,
But
yes.
no, it's really funny. And but yeah, they used to do, there was last year they did a Virginia bourbon tour. They came to Charlottesville. I went to the one in Norfolk.
Oh, that was Frank X
Was it?
in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did the X Park, and
yeah.
then they did one down in Norfolk I went to, and I got to meet a lot of the distillers and a lot of really good people inside of the state of Virginia that make whiskey.
Yeah.
And there's some really good whiskey in Virginia. There's some not great whiskey in Virginia, but
They're definitely-
there's a few really good producers depending on what you like. Lost is probably my favorite of the Virginia bourbons. Very good. They just came out with a 750 milliliter bottle.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
So now you can actually.
So they're straying away from their original.
Well, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
they said that they're getting enough people going.
Hey. Okay.
Like I think the 375 is still going to be there, but I think they've actually expanded into the 750.
Okay.
Like I said, the JH Bards guys, you can only buy. They don't sell through ABC.
Oh.
They're in Blacksburg right now. They have some really good original whiskeys. Really like they have a toasted rye. It's really good. And then they have their bourbon is really good, but I really like their single malt.
Okay.
It's so they age it in a new bourbon barrel, and then they pull it out for the last year and put it in a toasted barrel.
Okay.
So it gives you some really cool notes. They're going to be there. KO is really good. They're a really good bourbon company as well. They do bare knuckles.
Yes, the kind of old-fashioned.
Yeah. They're good.
labels.
They're a very good whiskey company in town, so they're going to be there. The Three Cross guy does some really cool stuff. So he does a lot of flavored whiskeys as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it should be good. It'll be fun, and like I said, there'll be beer as well. And it's only an hour and a half away, so
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
No brain.
No-brainer.
And it's late afternoon.
It starts at 4.
Okay.
Ends at 9.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll be there till 9. Probably there from like 4 to 7.
Yeah.
Maybe grab some dinner on the way home.
Probably grab something before we walk into.
Yeah, oh God.
Yeah.
Well, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to invite everyone over for lunch. We'll eat a good lunch at my house.
Okay.
We'll drive over.
Yeah.
And then, that way we're... So it was really funny. The one in X Park this year, my wife came with me because my friend that was going to come, I said, Anita, you're going.
Yeah.
So we go down there. My wife's tough. She can hold her alcohol. But it got to the point where the Uber ride home, I was like, stay upright. We're good. but it was fun.
Yeah.
And that's where I first met the Lost guys.
Okay.
That's where they handed me a 128 proof cash strength high rye bourbon, and I was just like, whoa!
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my goodness, very, very good stuff. So, but yeah, so that'll be fun. There's another one in Norfolk in November.
Okay.
Plan on heading down there. But yeah, a lot of trying to meet all the people I can.
Yeah. Yeah. How many distilleries are you going to interview while you're down there?
Don't know. I've reached out to a couple of them. I reached out to the people that are running it, and they haven't written me back yet saying, can I get in a couple minutes early?
Yeah.
But what I found at most of these festivals is you can pull them apart for a couple minutes and just talk. Because again, they're trying to push their brand and their market out as well.
Yeah. You're just trying to promote it.
Yeah, just trying to promote them.
Yeah.
So, but even worst case, it's just us sampling and giving reviews and having fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Because that's what whiskey's about.
That is what whiskey's
Community and fun.
about. Yeah. Or spirits, alcohol in general. I mean, my wife and I were going out to Stinson Vineyard this evening.
Nice.
So
Yeah, we'd love to join you, but my
Yeah.
son's playing golf today.
Yeah. No.
He'll be playing until dark.
Yeah.
So I'll be out navigating golf courses trying to find golf balls.
Sounds like fun.
Trying to find golf ball.
Yeah. A flashlight.
Yeah, no. I still track a good golf ball.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to read something, yeah. I went to the dentist yesterday. It was so fun. They handed me a sheet of paper, and they used the red because you photocopy red in the background. It doesn't photocopy well.
Yeah.
But I didn't bring my readers because I didn't know I had to read this really fine type in red, and I'm just sitting there going. So I just snap a picture with my phone, zoom it in to be able to read the damn questions. I was like, I'm getting so old. I'm getting so old.
Man.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
No, it's age.
Age. It's just a number.
It is. That's a lie. That's a lie created by old people.
Oh, yeah.
You know that's true too. It is a number. However,
Yeah.
Mother Nature wins. Mother Time wins every time.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
Undefeated. But again, that's a lot of the reason I've created GolfCask was now that I'm getting older, it's my two passions, whiskey and golf. And you know, if I can find other people with the same passions.
Yeah. There you go.
Tour the world, play great golf, meet good people, drink fine spirits.
That is the dream.
That's not a bad way to go, is it, Chris?
Not at all. Not at all. Sounds like a fine plan to me.
Sounds like a very good plan.
All right, he's
Looks like he's smoking something here.
smoking something there. There's a little fire going on.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, look at that smoke. Wow.
I feel like I'm in a Cheech and Chong movie. Only old people will understand that reference.
Open up the van door and just...
Only old people understand that reference. You had to be a kid of the 70s and 80s.
Exactly, yeah.
To fully understand. I guess.
All right.
Right.
So this is a classic take on, do I tell you what the cocktail is?
Yeah, please.
All right, so it's a classic take on a basic Sazerac, but what I do is I take a honeysuckle sugar cube instead of your A-Day, and it's locally sourced from a farm out here in Charlottesville. Put that down there, a little bit of orange bitters, kind of put it around the cup, set it flame. This way it gets kind of that burnt orange flavor. Added High West Double Rye. So as your mid-proof, kind of does have a little bit of peatiness to it, so that's why I went with it. And then a little bit of Psychology bitters on the top, and then an orange peel. Smoke it out to give it that nice oaky, smoky flavor.
Okay.
And you guys can take the top off and jump on in. Just pop it right from the bottom.
Nice.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
Skål.
Skål. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, you can smell the smoke. And then burnt orange.
Sazerac just being one of those cocktails in a whiskey bar, you have to do it the right way. You can put different variations on it to kind of tweak it a little bit, but it's just a classic drink everybody knows of. Everybody's had one somewhere where they were like, that was just a classic Sazerac. So.
Yeah. What I like is the fact that you left some of the sugar on the rim, so you have this very forward-based cocktail whiskey,
Yes.
but you get a little sweetness there as you take a sip.
Nice.
So,
And on the nose, you get a lot of citrus.
oh yeah,
You get a lot of that orange,
You do.
so it's
Yep.
very well made. Very well made cocktail.
Perfect.
Drinking at 9:30 in the morning.
No, it's almost 10.
It's almost 10 now. Okay, well, I feel better.
In Norway, it's 4:00 p.m.
People are off work right now. We're just celebrating in Norway. we're all Norwegians right now.
Exactly. Yes.
It's perfect. Now,
So a friend of mine contacted me last night and said, hey, you should really come down to North Carolina and visit with us one weekend. And I went through every weekend from now until the end of the year. We have 2 weekends where we're in town doing nothing.
oh my goodness.
And I went in to talk to my wife and said, okay, do you want to go this weekend or this weekend? And she looks at me, she's like, no, I have to be this weekend. I was like, well, why not this weekend? I didn't tell you, but I'm traveling that weekend. I said, come on. This is getting ridiculous. So,
That's a lot of weekends you've eaten up.
yeah. Either traveling or if she's home, she's teaching.
Yeah.
My wife is a great dancer, teaches, often goes to Richmond to teach, so Friday or Sunday. Okay.
So that's weekends where you guys are together. So the better question
We're
is,
together.
better question is how many weekends do you have free on your own?
Oh God.
That's the better question.
I will say almost every other weekend.
That's not bad.
I am by myself.
You need to teach a class in that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men right now that want to learn the secret of having every other weekend off. I want to learn the secret of having every other
That's when you
weekend
get
off.
the text, I'm lonely, can you come over?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm having a cookout today, boys. Please come
Please
over.
come and join me. Yeah. Drink my whiskey, smoke my cigars.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, very good.
Yeah.
This is a very good cocktail.
Yeah.
I like a Sazerac. What would be your favorite whiskey cocktail?
You know, I think it's the one that I made for you, the Brown Derby.
I do like Brown Derby.
Brown Derby to me is, I mean, I love an old fashioned, I love a Sazerac, I love a Manhattan. Brown Derby to me is an afternoon, it's warm. I mean, you can have several of them. But with the grapefruit, the honey, simple syrup, and the bourbon,
Yeah.
it's such an incredible combination. When you first look at the recipe, like, this is not going to work, especially the grapefruit, an ounce of grapefruit.
Yeah.
No. And then you taste it, and it's just so balanced, so perfect.
Yeah,
So,
the Brown Derby to me, that was funny because that was my first real whiskey cocktail. You know, I was a Neanderthal heathen. What? Vodka and gin and
cranberry juice.
crap.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the reason they make cocktails is because the spirit's just so bad.
Yeah.
You gotta match. Yeah, that was like, oh my God, you can actually make a cocktail out of a whiskey other than an old fashioned. Mm-hmm. I like a good Manhattan, but I would say Sazerac. He nailed it. Sazerac is probably my favorite of the cocktails for using whiskey.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Now, often with Sazerac, you can also kind of coat the glass with the absinthe. Now, being from Norway, I love licorice.
yeah,
You know, that flavor you get when you have a good Sazerac that's coated. Pretty incredible.
when we were in Ireland, we were at Silky, which was a small distillery. But right when you walked in, it was totally just black licorice. It was just waves of it was just pouring over you. And you're like, oh,
wow.
Like, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Nice.
So Chris, give us a little idea of the whiskey jar. How long has it been here?
Whiskey Jar has been going now for almost 13 years. Started by Wilson Ritchie. You know, built it. I've been here for about 3 years, and you know, and the time that I did have with Wilson, when I came into Whiskey Jar initially, I did not have very much knowledge of whiskey. I would say very not much at all. Like Jack Daniels, Jim Beam. That was about the extent of what I knew.
Fireball was good whiskey.
Yeah, type stuff. You know, I was definitely in that phase of whiskey, and he taught me the ins and the outs. You know, there was a couple of times where he sat me down, like, you know, these are the 5 to get started with. You know, your Four Roses, your Old Foresters, your Elijah Craigs. You know, the staples.
Yep. Solid,
and you know, and all ones that, you know, if you're entry level and you're trying to, you know, gain the experience of trying, you know, new stuff, these are good starting points. You know, not heavy spice, not heavy proof. Now, you know, once you got to know Wilson a little bit better, you realize that he was a very high proof guy, and like his Elijah Craig private barrels that we carry here are all very high proof, delicious barrels. But you have to like that nice big hug that comes with it on the end, because there is a great one.
Wilson always wanted a whiskey that fought back.
Yes, that was his saying.
Thing. Like,
yes, he was.
I wanted to fight back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
The warm hug.
The warm hug. And I was kind of the opposite. Like, no, I want to just enjoy it. Like, I don't need it to fight back.
I'm kind of in the same realm, and me and him, spoke on this countlessly. I don't mind a high proof, but it's not something I sit down and sip on. I'm going to sit down and sip on something. I want something that kind of relaxes with me, not something that's making me cringe on, and so not that I haven't delved into the high proof stuff, but I stick more to that 80 to 100 proof range. Anything above that, it's getting to the point where it's almost like eating spicy food.
Yes, and that's when you add, a
drop of water, open it on up.
Or a cube of ice to just dilute it a little bit, but still get all of the flavor.
All of the flavor, yeah. Just a little less of the burn.
I started with the Irishes that were friendly and happy, but now I like a big bowl bourbon that's going to be 120, little punchy. I like the fight. Because you to pull so much out of the fight where, again, an Irish is an Irish I enjoy, but so it's funny, my metamorphosis of, as I've got to learn more and more about whiskey, kind of changed me as well. But, so, awesome. And then what do you see, what do you see inside of the marketplace on whiskey? I know it's crazy right now.
Being an allocated state here in Virginia, it is a pain. You see bottles, like a perfect example, John J. Bowman was one that was pretty readily available 3 to 4 years ago. And now it's being pushed through the lottery. You can't even find it on the shelves. So it's, things like Buffalo Trace and, it's impossible. Everybody knows it. So then when they come in, the small supply that I do have disappears very, very fast.
It's so interesting because I was just in Europe. Buffalo Trace is
as far as the eye can see. A lot of tourists come here to say the same exact thing.
You can pick up 10 bottles of Buffalo Trace if you want to.
And out here, even if you're lucky enough to get into an ABC store that has Buffalo Trace, they limit you to 2 bottles in that transaction. Got to go outside, change your shirt, come back in, try again.
Turn your cap around. Like, no, I'm not the person.
Absolutely not. But it makes the fight for the bottles a little challenging. But to be honest, I also have the benefit that I'm not spending my money out here chasing down these bottles. And so, I do have that benefit, but I do love the chase of it. I got to be honest, it does give an exciting element to it. When you put in for the lottery and you're sitting there and you're waiting and you finally get that email and it's, I hit for that bottle. And it's like, I just got the Russell's 15 in and I was one of those ones. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I was really excited to see if I could try it. And then they hit the lottery. I'm like, I'm probably not going to win this. And then I hit it and I was like, yes. So awesome. I do enjoy the hunt aspect of it. Like I said, it gives a different angle for me. So.
Nice. Wow. Nice. All right. So cocktail was spot on. What kind of pour do you think you've come up for us?
All right, I went kind of along the line of Wilson's. It was a safe pour, but one that I was fairly impressed with. So this is off the Old Forester line. This is their 10-year, their 1924. All right. And I'm a fan of Old Forester. I think it has the right sweetness. I think it has the right punch. I think it's kind of that right in between. And this was one of their more exceptional bottles I've seen in the last couple of years.
It's lovely.
It's lovely.
That is just lovely.
And this is, of course, one of those bottles that is extremely hard to find, and I was fortunate enough to hit for 2 of them. So, but once this
24, I've not seen that one.
Yeah, it's a 10-year. It's like I said, one of my favorite releases from Old Forester here recently, and I've tried a bunch of them. But yeah, this is a nice one in my opinion. Nice, approachable, sippable.
Wow.
Good notes on it. A little bit of the cherry, a little bit of that vanilla, a little shot of caramel in there. So, and it's a 10-year bottle. The 10 years tend to bring out the big guns from distillers. So once you get them 10 years and better, they start bringing out the bigger, better flavor profiles on these. So
it's about 100 proof. Is that right?
Yeah. It is exactly 100 proof. You are correct.
Watching the legs.
Is that how you're counting like 98, 99, 100?
The legs.
That was a term I just learned.
The legs are slow. It tells you usually over 100, and then how wide they get. If they get really wide and slow, now you're looking at 120, 130. These are a little narrower but slow, so I would have guessed 100 to 110 just by looking. It doesn't always work.
Listen to you. Wow.
And to me, this one didn't drink like 100 proof. I mean, it's definitely got a hug, but it kind of sits with you. It's like one of those on a hot day, sit out on the patio and sip on.
Well, it sits on the back of your throat. Yes. You know, I think that's the spice that you're looking for.
The nose on this is spectacular.
Yeah, nose is incredible. Yeah. You get the nose, you get the sweetness on the front, you get the spicy on the back. Yeah. So, yeah.
Perfect.
I think to me, would like to have seen a little more smoke, peaty. But for a bourbon, this is
very good
phenomenal. Yes.
No, I agree. I think this hit my flavor profile perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I can't. Yeah, no, perfect.
I think the spice, that's your wife. I think that's the spiciness at the end there.
But the spice is kind of cool because it's there, but it's not like a wild turkey or whatever that's kind of really punching at you. It's just kind of
subtle.
Dances in the background. You catch a whiff of it and it kind of fades and it kind of comes back and it kind of fades.
Love it.
Really nice. I've never had that one. That is very nice. Another bottle I can be envious of that other people own.
Or we can find it.
I'm gonna tell you, man, the hunt is so annoying to me. Like
it is.
It's just. I guess I can start doing it more, but it's. I guess now ABC changed their rules in Virginia. Did you get that email?
I did get the email. I'm not sure if it applies to licensees as opposed to. I think it's just the public.
For the commoners. So
what is the new rule?
They're not going to send you texts or emails on drops.
Okay.
You just got to be there.
They're just going to shelve them.
You know, I think that's the right thing to do. Because I think in the beginning when they sent those texts, I mean, people were running out. I mean, I'm sure there were accidents because they were trying to get to the ABC store.
Well, that was the bottles that hit Barracks Road. We had the Weller Millennium, the Buffalo Trace Prohibition set, and then there was, goodness, I forget the third bottle it was, but they hit the Barracks Road store. And first 3 customers that walked in, and one of those bottles was $7,500. But they had to know somebody in that store to know that them bottles were coming to that store. They didn't just accidentally walk in like I'm coming in today to buy an $8,000 bottle of bourbon.
The system is never going to be equal.
No.
But I do see where, again, if you had 100 bottles of Buffalo Trace, you could put up on the shelves, and you'd have to do it old school. People would have to start texting and send to friends. But you're going to be sending to local people opposed to. I've been in a lot of these drops. You get Culpeper, you get DC people, you get people coming from, outside of your normal community. So I get it both ways, but I was just like, so the beauty of the system now is you literally might walk into your local ABC and it could have a really
great selection.
Exactly. And I think for most people, they will just walk right past that particular bottle and go, okay, I'm going to grab my typical whatever that is. Whereas we might go like, oh my God, I can't believe that's on the shelf.
To an enthusiast, that's the equivalent of hitting a scratch-off ticket. You walk in and, oh, wow, I've been looking for this.
And I think that's the fun of the chase. That's like I can't believe I just stumbled onto this now.
I have the benefit of having a wife, and she gets on the database and searches these bottles out, and she does, like, we've made trips almost to DC to pick up John J. Bowman, and then when I went there, like, they had 17 bottles in stock. Give me them all. And you take them all because it's that hard to get your hands on right now, and that was part of the hunt for me. When I seen there was a store with 17 bottles, I was like, I want to be at that store.
That's cool.
So,
do you have a decent whiskey collection at home, or do you?
I dabble.
Keep it here.
I dabble. I try a lot of the stuff, but to be honest, at the end of my workday, the last thing I want to think about is whiskey. So when I go home, it's. I mean, I have bottles, that I drink. For a nice long weekend, I'll pick up a bottle of Elijah. I'll pick up a bottle of Green Spot. Me and my wife will sit down and just sip on it. So but as far as like a collection, no, I haven't dabbled that far and that deep into it just yet.
Green Spot's nice.
Green Spot is where I actually got my start at. When a lot of the whiskeys I tried, they all kind of tasted the same, and then when somebody put Green Spot in front of me, it kind of gave me a different perception. And I have a combo on our menu called the Badamonte, where it's an IPA and a 1 ounce pour Green Spot, because to me that's when I'm sitting down and I'm doing paperwork or something.
Yeah.
I want my IPA and I want my Green Spot, and I'll just sit back and chill.
So okay, so Green Spot, that was kind of your whiskey.
That was my starting point.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
What was yours?
Not so elegant.
Fireball?
No, not that bad. No, it was during COVID. My wife and I bought Bullet. We bought Four Roses, and we bought what was the third one? Woodford. So we're like, do they really taste different? Like that was the defining moment. Then I went Woodford. Okay, Four Roses, really sweet, but I could definitely taste the difference.
Yeah.
And then Bullet was the first time I learned rye.
Okay.
I didn't really understand rye was there.
Yeah.
And that was just like, yes, yell at me, Bullet, whatever. that was the epiphany of, oh my God.
Yeah.
They're all different. They all have different flavors. There's something to this. And my brain works, I'm inquisitive. Once I see something, then I want to learn why.
Yeah.
So that started my journey. So it was literally Four Roses, Woodford, and it was a malt. I thought I didn't even know there's what malt was. Like,
That's
how stupid I was. And so there was a malt, and then like I said, Bullet, and like I said, Bullet was like. But I was drinking Irish whiskeys before this.
Yeah.
I was going to Ireland a bunch, so I was appreciating whiskey.
Yeah.
But at that point, I still didn't know whiskey. And then that, like I said, I'll never forget, we're sitting out on the deck at my house during COVID. My daughter, who was getting ready to go to college, was like, whiskey's awful.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's the worst thing on earth. And my wife and I sat there and tasted, and we're just like. So then I went from having like 1 or 2 bottles. I had really good bottles of whiskey in my house from Ireland. I had Yellow Spot, I had Green Spot, I had, what was the other, there was another, Egan, which is another high-end.
Okay.
So but I didn't appreciate them. Like I put them in cocktails, but from that day on, now my whiskey collection's gone from 3 bottles to 163 bottles.
Yeah.
I think my wife would literally hit me in the head.
Oh, she hits me all the time.
You got to pick and choose the battles at this point.
Yeah, and I have a shelving system, so they're up on the wall, so I can't hide them.
Yeah.
Technically, I hide a couple of them.
I mean,
But-
you can
Double stock.
store some at my place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also have at my golf course, I have a whiskey locker. So I have about 6 or 8 in there that she doesn't know about until she watches this video.
Yeah, I'm so glad this is private. Yeah.
Whiskey talk.
She already knows.
She won't watch it, so I'm not worried about it. She'll only watch the highlights that I send out, so we're good. But no, I think that was mine. What about you? What was your?
You know, I started with bourbon, and you know, I hate to say it, I tried Eagle Rare, didn't care for that.
I still don't care for Eagle Rare very much.
Well, I appreciate it now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I have the 17-year-old Eagle Rare. It's phenomenal. But I switched to Scotch, and my first Scotch was Jura.
Okay.
And it was just phenomenal. It's like, what is this? And then from Jura, I went to Black Label, which was okay. But then I tried Black Label, the double Black Label, which has the little peaty, Johnny Walker. And from there, I was like, all right, I'm going to peaty. I am going to Ardbeg, Lagavulin, Lafroig, all of that. But then I wanted to give bourbon or American whiskey another try. So I went back and I tried the High West Campfire.
There you go.
Wonderful bottle.
And I was sold. I actually emailed the distiller at the time and said, oh my God, this is incredible. And he emailed me back. He's like, well, if you like this, you should try this. He was such a, not only great salesperson, but the fact that the head distiller, the founder, emailed me and said, oh, well, thank you.
That's
You
what
should
business
try
is
this.
supposed to be run.
That's what business is supposed to be.
Shows personal touch.
Yes. So I will recommend Campfire any day of the week.
Yeah, we have that on shelf. It's one of the bottles. It's also an allocated bottle, but I was one of those fortunate people that got about 3 bottles of it. So, but yeah,
If
put it
I
up
see
there and it
Campfire,
moves.
I will pick.
Right, yeah, I understand that. It's good. It definitely has that nice smoky flavor to it, yeah, and it almost exemplifies that campfire kind of sipping a bourbon at a campfire kind of deal.
It's bourbon, rye, and scotch.
Yep.
I mean,
All in one.
all in one, and it's phenomenal. It's so well balanced.
And again, what I appreciate about whiskey more than anything is there's so many flavors, there's so many types. My wife enjoys a good whiskey, but she's more in the Scotch realm. And Irish is, I'm more bourbon. I like a good Irish. I don't mind a Scotch. I can handle peat, but it's not my. I'm not gonna pull it. Like I'm not gonna pull it, but I can sit and appreciate what it is.
Yeah.
But my wife went to Scotland this year and walked away with a very peaty, very Scotchy. And again, I enjoy it like in the night, but
I had one of those bottles.
yeah, but to me, sitting down, like I said, with a high rye bourbon, for me is like that's home. You put me by a fire, put me at about 110 to 120 in a high rye bourbon, and I'm just in.
Well, you get the sweetness, you get the spiciness. You get all the flavors.
That's me, sweet and spicy.
Touches all the points.
Yeah, more spicy than sweet, but
well, it depends on the person, and it depends on the day.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah.
Very good. Well, Chris, we're going to go ahead and add these up. We'll give you your total.
Perfect.
I need a price. That is a component. And
I got you, my friends.
And we'll see how good this $100 challenge works.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. All right.
So we got to do a little bit of math after having multiple drinks.
Yeah.
Flavor match with the cocktail.
And I did stay underneath the 100 by a few bucks.
Yes, you did. Well done.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna step to the restroom. I'll be right back with y'all.
Pay for this real quick.
However, I'm not gonna be one of those people who goes to the bathroom mic'd up.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. I thought we had it. That's right. I can't. What does that say? I didn't bring my readers again.
92.24.
So you got $8, $7, and so $7 and what was it? You said 24, so 76 cents. All right. So that's
good.
bonus points.
Yeah.
See, this is what I've learned. The distillers have a distinct advantage because their pours, they can use it as a sample, so they don't charge you.
Ah.
So they charge you for the cocktail.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta spend the distillers in their own category because that's not fair.
Yeah.
I really like that Old Forester. I really like that. That was very good. All right, so flavor match. I think he nailed me. I think he let Eddie down, but he nailed me. Creativity. Old Forester I really liked. Balance. Spectacular. That was a good Sazerac.
It was a good Sazerac. Yes.
Good Sazerac, yeah. And then there's bonus points at the bottom.
Okay.
So you get value. So bonus points would be you get we'll call it 8 extra points for staying under the 100.
Okay.
And then you can give kind of like the vibe of the place. I know it's not open, but with the vibe of the whiskey jar, so you can give up to 10 extra points for that.
I mean, I was here one Thanksgiving. The whiskey jar was closed.
Yeah.
And Will had invited me. He had a dinner for his family. And at the end of the night, Will and I are sitting here. We're sitting at the bar. And he goes, "What would you like?"
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whiskey jar to me is just something very, very special. Besides being phenomenal and have all the incredible whiskeys, Will was a dear friend of mine, and I will come back here every week, every day if I need to.
Every day if I need to.
Yes, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. So let me add this up here. So we got 50, 24, 7,
So you add 8 because it was 92 something.
Yeah.
Yes, I see. Okay.
So you added 8 points because you kept them.
Okay.
So this is where the distiller was so bad. So the cocktail for the distiller was like $18.
Yeah.
So it was like 36.
Yeah.
But then he didn't charge you for the pour. So he had $60 just sitting there. I'm like, well, that's kind of unfair. So I'm gonna have to spin off bar versus distiller because they have a distinctive advantage.
That's all right. I still want to put a quality drink in front of you, and they only have the option of using their products.
That is true.
And I do have a nice spread here to choose from.
You
So,
do. So
I guess that kind of.
They're like, we only have 4 or 8 selections, but no, I agree. But monetarily, they get a lot of bonus points. 74, 84. $74, 84, 92, 102, 110.
110? How do you get 110?
Because you go 5 times that value.
Oh, 5 times?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you got a multiplier. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, 3
Not a
times.
problem.
Okay. I see.
Have you guys had a chance to try this yet?
I have not.
Longbow?
Is it good?
We had an event with it yesterday. It's actually not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. 100 proof.
Yeah.
$90 on the price point, so it's a little pricey, but we do those every Wednesday here, so trying out new bourbons that may be hitting the market. We did Baby Jane a couple of weeks ago. And that's the one from yesterday.
Do you have to work today?
Yeah, I do have to work. I have a full day.
It's a good start of the day.
Yes.
So you got 98, I got, so we'll add that together and divide by 2, so 200. So a score of 106. The distiller I did was 118, and that was just because he cheated.
Because he cheated? Okay.
Well, he didn't cheat, he just...
Yeah, he did.
He had the guidelines of the rules, so you did really, really well. I really appreciate the Sazerac. I thought, for me, Sazerac is probably my favorite of the cocktails, so you nailed that. The High West in it, again, the rye. It's totally what I love. I think this Old Forester is spectacular. I mean, I'm a wild turkey guy. Like, I love the spice. I love that. The spice is there. Really, really good job. So you nailed it.
I would have loved a peaty scotch.
As opposed to the bourbon.
As opposed to the bourbon, yeah. Now, bourbon was phenomenal. I will enjoy that every day. But you know, peaty, smoky, sweet, like, yeah. If you added some peatiness into the Sazerac, yeah, he would have been.
Yeah, he doesn't matter. He doesn't own the show. I own the show.
What do I know? I know. Yes. Yeah.
I own the show, so who cares what you think?
Who cares? Yeah. No, but no. I mean, the smoke. I mean, everything was phenomenal. Yeah.
So Chris, give me where can people find you? Give us a little idea of what you offer customers coming into the whiskey.
So we do have all social media.
At
Instagram,
Flavor Match
Facebook,
of 20 and
so you can
25
definitely reach
for
us
the
out in
pour.
there.
Cocktail
As far
Creativity
as
12,
the things we
pour
do
12,
here, we do a whiskey society
Balance
once a
10,
month,
pour
where
10,
we try
bonus
out new
vibe
whiskeys.
of 10.
Eddie
Whiskey
is a
jars
part
are
of
great,
that.
and then $8
And
change.
it's you know,
So
if
we
you're
are at a
looking for a way
total
to
of
get an
107.
entry point into learning about some bourbons.
I really
you know, we have
enjoyed
some
Chris's
really
risk
knowledgeable
here. He
people
could
come
have
in and
created
do some
separate
really good
cocktails and
history
separate pours
dives
for each of us,
on the
but he tried
companies
to
that we're
blend all
actually
our
doing
flavors together and
this
create
month
it into
being
one
military
cocktail in one
veterans.
pour. Tip of the cap, that is a big
And it's
challenge.
every
I think
third
Chris
Thursday
did
of
a
the
great
month,
job.
and you can add yourself yourself onto
So
our
we'll simply
email
take the
to
average
get
of both of our
updates
scoring
about what
methods,
products
and
will
you
be
can
in
see
use
that
and
they
what the theme
average
of it is. If you go to the whiskey jar at
100.5.
gmail.com.
Great showing for the Whiskey Jar.
You can
I
join
encourage all of you in
onto the
Central
email
Virginia that
list,
have
and
not
each
been to
month
the
I
Whiskey
send out a
Jar,
couple
you should
emails letting
attend.
everybody know what we're
Search out
doing,
Chris
and sometimes we go
create
to
your own
different
100 challenge.
venues.
And of
do,
course, you can
whiskey
always
beer
join us on Thursday
tastings.
evenings for the Whiskey
Earlier this year
Society.
we did a
We
mezcal
meet once a
tasting,
month.
so we
I
like
think
to
it's the
have fun
third
and kind of
Thursday of
venture
every
out
month.
and
So come on out
get people
and
aware
support
of
your
products
Whiskey
that they might
Jar.
not
And
normally
thank
be
you all
able
for
to
watching.
try.
Nice.
And I think besides whiskey, the Whiskey Jar is famous for the live music.
It really is.
You have live music multiple times a week.
Yeah,
right?
every single day of the week. We don't open on Sundays, but 6 days out of the week. We have a live band in here. Thursdays we have the iconic Matthew O'Donnell who comes in here and just has Irish pub music,
oh
and
God.
he is unbelievably
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
Plays 17 instruments. He's up there just having a blast. Really interacts.
Different wineries too.
Yeah, so Matthew O'Donnell.
He's incredible. He is.
And then on Fridays and Saturdays we got music going till 1:30 in the morning, so it's a great place to hang out late and listen to some good music, drink some good whiskey.
And Wednesday you have a great band.
Yeah, but Wavelength is on Wednesday as well.
My wife and I, we are swing dancers, so we will sometimes come here for date night, or we'll be at Bevadero for date night, which is another Will restaurant, and we'll walk by here and do a little dancing outside.
Yeah, Waverly's extremely talented as well. Good Southern rock, old school, a lot of historian about music, and has a lot of great tidbits about the music that he sings. So yeah.
And I appreciate the food here. It's Southern fancy. Right?
I'm
a
definitely Southern. Yeah,
I'm a Southern food fan.
Yeah.
So and again, they elevate there. So the food here is spectacular as well. So
certainly is.
Definitely come visit the Whiskey Jar in the Charlottesville area, inside Central Virginia, or if you're just coming to visit our wonderful burg. Come find the Whiskey Jars. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
You're awesome. Thank you for hosting. Thank you.
So let's do a quick recap. Eddie's scoring: flavor match cocktail 15, pour 15. Creativity 15, pour 15. Balance of cocktail and pour together are 8 each. Bonus vibe is 10 points and $8 and change. Total of 94. Where Brian, on the other hand, jumps in here at